Hey everybody, Texas shrugged. What that was, of course, is the SpaceX, the first module, the rocket module is reusable, comes back to Earth, lands on a barge, so it can be reused again. Now, this is what I want to ask you. I was watching the Russian Vids channel. Russian Vids, of course, thinks that SpaceX is a complete and utter hoax. It's all fake. He believes all space is fake, all satellites fake. Nobody goes anywhere above low Earth orbit. So on the SpaceX thing, anyway, it never looked right to me that this module comes down on an angle and then straightens up, lands on a barge as gently as a butterfly landing on a bush. So I did my own research, and I found a lot of disturbing things that support what Russian Vids is saying, that it's totally a hoax. Now, I can't prove that. I wasn't out at the barge when the thing came down. I don't have an uncle that works for SpaceX that can confirm this. I'm just saying, when I did my own research, there was a lot of weird anomalies that, instead of making me comfortable with what SpaceX is putting out, the evidence that I found supports what Russian Vids is saying, that it could totally be a hoax and completely not real. So, look, I'm going to share a few things with what I found, describe a few things, and just let me know if you think that this is worth a full video, and it would take a while to put everything together. And if I'm completely out of my mind and there's no way any of this has any merit, then I need to know that also. But I'm just telling you, I found some awfully strange things. So let me show you another clip, and then I'll come back and talk about a little bit more and ask for your advice.
And that's what you're about to see enter frame here. And there it is. You're seeing what
One of the strangest things I find about SpaceX is their lack of video evidence, quality video evidence from a lot of different cameras and sources. So just let me give you an example. And if you think this is ridiculous, please tell me I'm ridiculous. But if you're a multi-billionaire, Elon Musk, and you're doing something completely revolutionary, revolutionizing space travel, I kept thinking to myself, you can't afford to set up 10 or 12 $180 GoPros, GoPro cameras. So let me tell you where I'm going with this. First off, if you were to go back and watch the beginning of this video, that's really the only shot that they have or they give us, other than the other clip I showed you where the camera is attached to the rocket itself when it lands on the barge. In other words, they're the only two shots that we have of this historic flight. The retro rocket goes up, goes into low Earth orbit, its second stage releases to go to the satellite or whatever. It flips around, it comes barreling down, fires its rockets, and it lands on the barge. So I'm thinking to myself, if this is what actually happened and it is that historic, why haven't they set up 10, 20, 30 GoPro cameras, super high definition GoPro? Go to Dick's Sporting Goods, they're $180 or $210. Why don't you have 3 or 4 boats out there around the barge where you've hired photographers and videographers, whatever it is? And why aren't you documenting this? All they have is they seem to have this helicopter, hovering 50 miles away, or it's a long way away with a zoomed lens. That's why, if you go back and watch the beginning of this video, that's why you kind of have that perspective where the white caps of the ocean surround the barge throughout the entire frame. So it's just odd to me. So okay, you would think, well, at some point they must have captured this thing landing on the barge, and this is all I found in the attached. Okay, that clip is one of 3 close-up videos they have of the landing on the barge. But all 3 are of the same landing, and they're all at night. So, again, common sense rules my world. I think, why didn't they have these small cameras set up on the initial landing on the barge during the day, or on a subsequent landing on the barge during the day? Why don't they have boats around the barge shooting this thing in perfect high definition? It's Elon Musk. It's a space agency. If I went out there with a GoPro, I could get better video than what they're putting forth. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, what am I missing? If you have a multi-billion-dollar investment, I guess if you take the entire net worth of SpaceX plus what the grants and the funding they're going to get from the government in terms of satellite payload, things like that, why wouldn't you have 20, 50 GoPros? GoPros are like $200. What? How do you not have different angles, super high definition? And forget GoPros. Why haven't you hired for each of these events a camera crew and spent $100,000 documenting one of the most revolutionary things in space history? It just doesn't make any sense.
Getting the last burn is going in. Landing legs should be deploying in about 10 seconds or so. That is a view from the landing pad.
That is that first stage
Coming
coming
back.
back down to land at Cape Canaveral. History in the making, guys.
That was the first landing, the absolute revolutionary moment in space flight and reusable rockets. But the video, they have a video that appears to be 5 miles away at night. I mean, now I did cut it off, and then of course as soon as it lands they go to a closer video, but it's still not very good. It's not like the rocket's right there in HD. It's still pretty far away. But I mean, just back this video up at 30 seconds or a minute and look at what I just showed you. One of the most revolutionary moments in space flight history, and that's what you're going to show the world. Elon Musk and his staff didn't think of setting up 50 GoPros all around that pad. Matt, they're going to be burned up. Well, maybe 20 of them will be burned up. Maybe 3 will get good pictures. I'm not asking for a $7 million investment on video, although you would think it would be worth it to promote SpaceX. They're $200 a piece. So, no, I don't buy what's going on right now. I don't. You know, who knows? Who knows what's going on? It's bizarre. It really is. So, is there a chance this thing's a hoax? Let me know in the comments, and I will do more research. If I have people commenting saying, yeah, it looks like a bunch of bullshit, I'll do more research and put a full video together. And I don't care. I'll be ridiculed in my circle of family, friends, and neighbors forever on this one, but I don't care anymore. All I care about is the truth. Till the next time, Texas Shrugged.